Okay, so this part actually, I got deviated from it and kept talking about other wisdoms, right? They're not bad, right? But I talked about other stuff, right? So let me go back to this. That narration, right? The hadith is just narration of what they say Prophet Muhammad said. Basically, it's saying Arabia will become a place of, let me go back. Rivers and meadows. But look, it says till it returns to the land of Arabia. So that means probably goodness. That means Arabia used to be like that in human history. Because you guys would agree with me, it's kind of strange that it's deserts, right? It's kind of strange that it's not like the other parts of the world. There should always be a balance. So something could have happened, you know, whether it's a sin or something, only God knows, that made that happen. Because not everything is about how God creates things. Sometimes it's sin that changes an environment. And I know that doesn't make sense. There's so much evil happening anywhere you go in this world. If sin would change a land or environment, then everything should have been destroyed. I know. Just the idea. Okay, we don't know. We don't have to care. I'm just saying that's one thing. Okay, but it's probably not, correct? See, I'm assessing, but it's probably not. Is then what I'm concluding, because then it would have happened everywhere. Okay, so that means if the prophet is being quoted to say, again, this part could be an addition, it could be false, it may not be. I'm just simply assessing. If it's saying returns to the land of Arabia, that means it used to be like that, correct? Not the way it is now. So then what does that teach you? Exactly. That it's not something new. That's how it used to be. Maybe everybody, it was like that when the prophet was around. And it became this way, the way Arabia is now, after the Qur'an was corrupted. Maybe it's just symbolism. You guys might be like, why? Why are you assessing that? I'm assessing that because Mahdi is almost here, right? The next prophet. The last prophet, actually. Okay, so if Mahdi is the last prophet, and our Prophet Muhammad and Mahdi are very connected, right? They're from the same lineage. And this prophet is going to remove all the lies about Prophet Muhammad, right? I mean, every prophet remove the lies of the other one, you know? They're obviously going to be a different, from different races at some point. It doesn't matter, okay? They're all buddies, okay? I just mean the idea. This person is from his lineage, okay? They're an Arab too. They just may not be Saudi Arabian. Okay, so for that reason, everyone, exactly. Maybe it's a symbolism. Maybe this is something that God allowed to happen to their place, right, Arabia, when he's no longer here. And all this evil is being said about this wonderful man God sent to help them. You know, that's how you know that it's not just something unique that just happened. It could be something unique that happened because it's actually connected to exactly Prophet Muhammad and Prophet Mahdi. You know, like the gap between them could be the time that Arabia was deserts and whatever it is today. But then all the snow, all the rivers, all the meadows, which is like green, right, is going to come to it because Mahdi is here. Okay, and you might say to me, why are you concluding that? Where's your evidence? Because everyone knows Mahdi is almost here. Non-Muslims, Muslims, everyone is anticipating who this leader is, you know? No one can ignore them, okay? because you Christians are uncomfortable. You're thinking, what? Is some crazy terrorist gonna pop up again? What do we need to do to protect ourselves? You can't just be like, I don't care. That's a fake religion in my mind. I think my Bible is the only book. I don't believe another book came after. I don't acknowledge the Qur'an. You're thinking, who cares, right? You might then, when does it make sense for you to care? Because God won't let you. God has to guide you to always love your leaders. So I want you Christians to know, and non-Muslims to know overall, this is why you all have this sort of soft place for Muhammad. Okay? Please don't go there. It's only when you hear bad stuff. That's it. I didn't say him. I didn't say he. No, just when you hear bad stuff. Whoa. So that's about stories. The stories are making you think that way. But when you just hear his name, evil doesn't come to your mind. That's how you know he's obviously that powerful prophet, that righteous person. Okay? And there's no fake Muhammad that existed. That fake one is the accusation. Because think about it. You all just love him. You all pull to him. When you all heard about Islam and the Qur'an and this great man that you all interested, not because a story is interesting. Hey, there's this great man that came to us and he saved everybody. Duh, anyone could be interested in that. I'm not saying that's the interest you have. No, it's a different interest, everyone. It's like the way I can prove it to you guys is your heart. See, not interest, right? You're just listening to somebody. No, your heart seems to be pulled to Prophet Muhammad. Please, non-Muslims, don't lie. I know you non-Muslims are pulled to Prophet Muhammad. You cannot treat him like a non-existent. Please, I know you're pulled to him because everyone, you're supposed to love him. He's your prophet. He's like Jesus, okay? It's just that the accusations, the story, the fake character, obviously, that is talking about when you hear accusation or AKA story, okay, it has to create a character first, right? And then create the accusations about that real person based on this fake character, what it's saying the fake character did. Okay, so you can't just have accusations because I don't want you to attribute it to the actual human. No, let's say there's a fake character first that was created. Then stories are made up about that fake character. But when we are connecting it to the real human, that's an accusation to him, correct? Okay, but you can't just accuse him. That's not rational. This character that he has, righteousness, conflicts with what the hell they're talking about. So another character has to be created first, right? There you go, a fake Muhammad, a fake character, a fake man. And they corrupted his history. I don't believe he even went to Arabs until a very long time later. One, common sense. He's just like Jesus. That means he's bringing a Qur'an that's similar to the Torah. It just may not have the same name. This one might be a Qur'an, right? But it's the same, get it? The same God is sending it down. So if you're the same God and you're sending these two books down, and these two people are the same, right? They're both your messengers to your creation, then okay, shouldn't the books be the same, everyone? What does that mean, everyone? It's one religion, right? So Jesus and Muhammad should have been best friends in Christians' eyes. Okay, so what's the problem? Exactly, they want you to think it's a new religion by attributing him to the Arabia. There you go, because you Christians are thinking if he's the same person like Jesus, which would then make you all believe Jesus was a human, right? Supernatural being and not a son of God. Because Muhammad would help you see that, you get me? Because you would see he had the same abilities. He also brought a book down. He also had supernatural abilities. Then you have to, because you don't want to believe he's also a son of God. So you would have to drop the son accusation against Jesus if you're seeing someone else who's similar to him. Because there you go. You have to agree they cannot be sons. You can't have this many sons as a God. Okay? Two, you guys believe Jesus is the only son. So if Muhammad has the same abilities that are supernatural, not necessarily the same, that's not required, but you also have supernatural powerful abilities and you also have a book with you like Jesus had the Torah, then you all have to agree Jesus is not the son of God. Get it? There has to be some other character these men have that makes them just supernatural, okay? But so the devil is scared of that. You dropping the accusation of God having a son. He can't let that go. That's how he controls you. You worship someone he created. You don't actually worship your Lord. You're committing a sin. It's so sad. Right? Please. You guys are doing what Indians do. They worship people who died. So, okay. For that reason, he has to separate Prophet Muhammad from the people. He would have to. If you're from the same God as Jesus, you have to go where? Whoever is worshiping God in history, correct everyone? Not fake gods, the real God. That's Christians back then. We just don't, no, they're not called Christian back then because Christ, see how logical it is? Christ, the name is from him. Okay, so before Jesus came to you, come on everyone, they had a different name, right? Which is why I get so mad at you Christians. Like, why are you taking the name Christ? Why don't you try to figure out another name your ancestors had? You can't. Demons have to possess you in a way where they don't even want you to think about it. Because then you figure out it's similar to Muslim, etc. You all be like, oh, so sad. We've been tricked. The devil can't let you put the puzzle together like I'm doing for you. Sad, right? Sad. So that's how you know he's really an accuser, a liar. He corrupts everything. Okay, everyone, right? So if you knew Prophet Muhammad first went to Europeans, because they were the Christians of that time, and whoever at that time of Asians and Africans was also Christian, right? Whoever they spread it to, then you would connect Muhammad and Jesus. Do you agree? So then you would dig it up, the history, and it would help you to then stop rejecting the Qur'an, and you would connect it as one religion, right? The Bible, the Qur'an, you connect it as one, and a lot of good things would have happened. Okay, the devil can't let that happen. He has to separate the Qur'an from the Bible. Get it, everyone? They have to be separated by him. In his mind, these two books cannot be used together. Because if you use the Qur'an and the Bible, Christians would stop worshiping Jesus, okay? Obviously, they both have immorality in it, so it's not really going to help you with morality, but it's going to help you with who God is. You might be like, what is he so scared of? If you're saying the Qur'an and the Bible are both corrupted to have immoralities, how's this book going to help us, right? There you go. God did not allow the devil to corrupt who God is in the Qur'an. So do you see what I mean by it's a puzzle? It's a puzzle. So, okay, right? The areas that the Bible says one man, one woman for marriage, okay, the Qur'an is flipped to say one man for females. Do you see what I'm saying, everyone? The other book will help you with the problem here. But then, see, since they both have evil in it, well, there are areas that the other cannot help you. This perversion of, like, say something about rape will be in both, like that. So at some point, you're going to have to give up trying to see what the other can help you with. But I would say some areas, right, that we can obviously see. This one has a moral knowledge for you, and that one has immorality, being told as being good. It said, okay, woo, so right, the devil cannot let that happen. Because Christianity is literally founded. It's the whole purpose of Christianity is to worship Jesus. It's not to worship God. So, of course, he cannot let you connect to the Qur'an. If you connect to the Qur'an, the devil loses. You all will worship the Father. You all will worship one God. And you might be like, well, how does that technically still benefit us? We're still corrupted. You would agree with me that's a dangerous statement, right? Because God is God. Imagine worshiping him versus a human he sent to help you. Okay, you guys, Christians have to then agree with me if what I'm saying one day God again, I know I'm telling you the truth, but if you're all alive to see that with your own eyes one day, that what I'm telling you is from your Lord, right? Okay, then wouldn't you guys feel really ashamed? Correct? If God himself was to tell you what Marian, is telling you is true, what would you all conclude? Exactly. Oh, the devil got us. Oh, woe us. You say the things the ancestors used to say. Woe us. I love the way they used to speak before. Woe us. Like, it's just too dangerous. It would at some point benefit you, not just the fact that, you're worshiping your Lord, but two, it helps you. You all start to question him. Oh, God, why is this verse saying this, and they're saying you wrote it and you said this, etc. I think you'd all have a better relationship with God if both books told you he's one, you know? But if one person is made to be a God for you who's similar to me, he's a supernatural human like me, you just don't get to see who I am until the future. He's just like Mohamed, who was supernatural. Okay. It's easy to give you a story here and another story there and create two religions out of one religion. Okay, so they cannot allow you to know that, logically speaking, Muhammad has to go to Europeans first. He has to either, right, be raised up, he has to travel, he has to get married, he has to have a long living existence, years and years and years, in areas that you would say is Christian back then. Europe. Logically, that means then Prophet Muhammad obviously went to Christians. Because, get it, everyone? He's sent by the same God who was sent by Jesus. He's sent by the same God that sent Jesus. Okay, so if Jesus was to come back, where would he go? Exactly, those who worship him. It doesn't mean the other humans are not important. No, it's because it's rational. You're going to quickly follow the religion that he teaches you, right? You're going to quickly follow his information that he teaches you in his lifetime. And another prophet also taught you information, but it's the same information, right? Okay. So the devil has to take out the fact that our prophet obviously had to go to Christians first. Because then it would connect Muhammad to Christianity. It would connect him to the Torah. It would connect him to Jesus. It would connect him to the Father. It would connect him to the Bible. Now you cannot keep saying Islam and Christianity are not one religion. You have to agree it's the same God. And at some point it would help you think about it. And when you think, you conclude he's obviously one God, Allah. You see? So he doesn't want you to get to the point of concluding that he's one God and he's Allah. So he has to take away who even taught you that in sort of your ancestors, their time, when that knowledge was taken, right? And people were worshiping Jesus. Who came to stop that corruption? Muhammad. Okay, so he has to take away Muhammad from Jesus. He has to separate Muhammad and Jesus. He has to say, this is just some random person, right? Just like Hindus. They have their own religion, right? But that fake religion, he wants you to think Islam is like Hinduism, like just another fake religion made up by someone from their ethnicity, right? Or from their race, in that sense of the the Asians, right? The portion of Asians are Arab, right? That sort of group. He wants you to think he just made something for his own little people, despite their ethnicities. Just the Arabia, the Arabs. No. So he has to, that's why everyone doesn't know where he was born. Everyone doesn't know where he was. Everyone doesn't know sort of the year he was. Do you guys then see what I'm assessing for you? You can't throw it away. Because it's so rational. We don't have this perfect knowledge of where Prophet Muhammad was really born. What really happened? Yeah, he was adopted. But okay, then what happened? What happened to the parents? Did they die? Was there war? Well, like that, we don't have descriptions. He has to go to Europe. That's a guarantee, because that's the same religion you're trying to teach them, but you're taking out the lies. They're worshiping. See, in his mind, you're worshiping someone that's equal to him. Jesus and he are the same. They're two supernatural prophets. So in his eyes, see him in such a big way, but the prophet is thinking that's like my friend. You guys, he's just a human like me who's supernatural. So it's easy for him to explain to you. It's not a regular human who has knowledge about God. It's hard for them. But if you're also a prophet, you're also supernatural, you can easily tell people to stop worshiping someone they think is a God, because you also are as cool as them. They can't act like Jesus is better than you. No, you're also a prophet, get it? You also have some abilities. And yes, they tell you he split the moon. Why is that not cool to you, non-Muslims? Why do you seem to ignore that? That's cool if you could split the moon. But probably split the earth or something was probably something else, not a moon. Because I feel like supernatural abilities have always been to help somebody, right? Save people. Like Moses, right? How he had, they say, a staff that split the ocean like that. But was it random to just have fun with the ocean? No. God does things for a reason. He doesn't want you to worship his creation, right? He gives them abilities in a way that the ability is meant to help you. Okay, so it was to protect people that Moses did that God told him to do that, right? The ability had a purpose that you would say is heroic. Not waste time, right? Not intimidate people. They're righteous. So what's the point of splitting the moon in that sense? You get me? So it could be the way. Okay, and God has a great reason. I'm just saying it's possible that's not what was split. What if it was the earth, everyone? What if it was exactly some evil army he stopped? Not trying to attack him. He's a prophet. You can't attack a prophet. I mean, just people somewhere in history. Because, right, humans can attack each other. Okay, so they have to take him away from Europeans and Christians in the Bible. They have to just give him this isolated image in Arabia and separate him from you guys, those who are Christians, but specifically Europeans. Because Jesus was European. You might be like, why you keep saying European? If Christians are... Because everyone... Jesus was European, you know? So I have to keep focusing on you Europeans, okay? Right, everyone? So I have to focus on the European type Christians. Because they would be the first ones to really follow, right, the corrupted religion of God after Jesus and spread it, you know? We wouldn't say it went to Africa first in that sense. Because, right, Jesus is obviously, right, first interacting with the Jews, you know? Or Israel, okay? Unless, due to God's wisdom, he lived in a time where maybe he went to Africans first or Asian. We don't know, but you get the point, right? At least based on what we know. So, okay, you see then why I'm connecting it, everyone. I'm not just saying Christians, I'm saying Europeans, because there you go. A prophet there definitely had to then go to Christians. I'm not just making random opinions. I just told you, he's sent by the same God that was sent by Jesus. So who should you go and help and talk to and be like, I'm just like Jesus. I came to stop corruption in your lifetime. And this is the second book this is the other book, sorry, after the Torah. That's no longer the correct one. What you guys have is corrupted. Here's the other one. Like, who should you go talk to? His people, in that sense. Europeans. Our prophet had to then visit you, and he had to visit Christians, obviously. Because it's not rational to visit people who don't even know the concept of worshiping one God. They're just worshiping humans, right? They're pagans. It's not rational to go to Confucianists, okay? It's not rational. You're not going to teach them religion all over again. But two, everyone, that's not the first reason, okay? Because that makes it seem like you're being biased as a God. That you would, no. That's not the first reason. That's just rational. It benefits. No. The first reason is a prophet is sent to stop corruption about a scripture that was sent before their time, but now is corrupted. And due to the corruption, people worship a false information about God, right? And immoralities. Okay. So then, because of that, right? Because there's evil in the world, and the scripture is not going to be blamed for the evil you do. That's your choice, obviously. But right? You could say you easily fell into what they told you about who God is because you don't know who God is. Okay, so if that's really your purpose as a prophet, to lift off corruptions from who God is, who the prior prophet before you was, all prophets, all righteous, history, and scripture, aka then for religion, and then other areas of life, this would impact morality. Okay. Who should you go to? Those who follow that book that's corrupted. And you're basically saying to them, I need you guys to drop that book, take my book. Because this one is from the same God that you think sent you that one. That one's corrupted, so you guys have to use this one. See, everyone? And the supernatural abilities and the fact that they're a messenger of God, right? They don't connect with God just one time, but they have a relationship with God where God can communicate with them continuously. The purpose of that is not for God to alienate you humans, right, who don't have that connection. Everything is for purpose. God is not trying to be mean. That's so that, then there you go. What would you think those humans would say? They would say, we don't want to disrespect you. You know, you look like a good person. We're not saying this to hurt you. But we're still human and we know evil comes out in this world. In order to actually respect God, don't you agree we should have some evidence that you're from him? There you go. And the prophet would agree. So God already gave them supernatural abilities, miracles, etc. That would then prove to those humans, this person really is like the past person they're worshiping or following, or, you know? And now they'd be like, wait a minute, we see you with our own two eyes. You're obviously supernatural. You have great abilities we don't have. You're gifted. God chose you. You're okay. But you're not his son. You're not his daughter. So that's why you're being sent and not just a book miraculously from the sky. Because you're also trying to get us to stop worshiping the past human who was just like you. But because we don't get to see that person and interact with them, they can easily write in the book that he's a son of God or she's a daughter, etc. Females, obviously, they just took them from history. Oh, so that's your significance. Why you have to visit us in person. Because exactly, everyone, it's not required, right? An angel could have come down and then said, bye, everyone. Just ascended, right? Exactly. A human has to always be brought with it, the book. Because the human, their job is to lift off the other corruption in religion. The fact that someone just like them, a few centuries ago, is always being accused of being a son of God or a daughter of God. Okay, so another prophet has come down, and that helps. That those humans actually see the prophet face to face. You know what I mean? I know. I'm not saying that's required. I'm not saying God has to do that. Otherwise, you won't believe something. No, that's just what God chose to do. It helps, correct? We're just simply saying it makes sense. God could have sent angels. God could have sent something else, right? And you always still believed. But since a human was sent earlier, and now that human is being accused of being a son of God, another human just like them, when they're being sent, exactly. Yes, that's because prophets are always sent. It's not really because they need to lift off a lie from that human being accused of being a son, right? It's just because simply they're prophets and they're always sent. That accusation may have never happened and they would still be sent. I'm saying that's the benefit. When you see another prophet who's just as gifted as so-and-so you all are obsessed with, you leave that so-and-so alone. Do you agree? But then you get to see why you fell to the trap. Because they're supernatural. They're gifted. Right? Intellectually, artistically, they're gifted in a supernatural way. Okay, but then they actually have supernatural abilities. You know? But then the other supernatural ability, directly having conversations with God in that way. Right? Or through scripture. Yeah, angels give them the scripture. Some other way. Of course, they have to interact with God at some point. Goodness. Right? But also communicating with God through knowledge and wisdom. God doesn't talk to them directly, but he guides them like me. The way I'm being guided all the time. Demons follow them for the first few something of their life, right? For me, it's 31 years, right? Not 31, sorry, 30 years. I turned 31 this October. So God told me it's going to end soon. You could say then 30 years that I've been followed or persecuted. So then they also have the fact that demons followed them as a way to prove to you, right, that they're supernatural. You know what I mean? They just have so many ways to prove things. But the supernatural abilities is going to help you. That's not the purpose, okay? They just have it because there's purposes for that. I talked about in other episodes. They have the other benefit. Sorry, I need to hurry up. The other benefit is you guys stop portraying the one prior to them as a son. Because there's nothing special about them that's a son now. You can't be like, Jesus was so cool. He's a son. You just see Mohamed having really cool abilities too. Well, you're going to have to drop the son stuff, right? But if they don't hide that and turn him into someone who never even met Christians, never showed the miracles, never was supernatural, never interacted with these people who obviously first he should talk to, right? Because they have the book, get it? And he has a book to stop this one, right? Well, of course, they just turn him to Arabia then. So that it doesn't seem like God sent you someone after Jesus. You see? So that you could continue to be blinded and worship Jesus and follow the current Bible forever and ever. Until there you go, sadly. Until Mahdi has to come. Our prophet already did his job. Your ancestors already were happy and they were good to go. But history can be erased easily. And you non-Muslims better not say, that's not possible. If he was really like this and like that, we should have had knowledge. Come on, in Jesus' time, knowledge was totally erased too about him. It's only way centuries later that then some people found some stuff and then they started to say he's a son of God and then they started to literally just create Christianity that way. When the prophet is gone, religion is usually gone right away. People go back to worshiping whatever they were worshiping before that was fake. So please don't do this to us. Don't lie. Europeans are really good at studying history because obviously your evil ancestors destroyed Africa and Asia to some degree and obviously the Arabia. And see, this is your other evidence, everyone. So it's not because you're better than people, it's because your evil ancestors destroyed people. The good parts of your, the evil humans of your ancestors, not all your ancestors, destroyed Africa and Asia, okay. So that's why then it seems like you have some civilized countries. Don't you dare act racist here. The human race is normal. They all know how to improve. You keep attacking each other. Okay, and at some point they start attacking internally themselves because they're so destroyed. Demons start to do that more through them. Duh, they won't even move up even if you stop bombing them. Okay, everyone, that's your evidence that Muhammad was like Jesus. Because how come you, right, the people who are technically Christians, Europeans, how come your ancestors, the evil ones among them, keep being obsessed with the Middle East? I didn't say China. That not the other type of Asians like Indians. Why are they obsessed with the ones who were Muslim before? Why you keep hearing about crusades and all these wars and all these horrible things between those Christians and those Muslims? That's your evidence that was a prophet, just like Jesus. And Jesus was not a son of God. He was great like him. And when he died, he's no longer here to help anybody. Now demons get to have permission to then. You're just regular humans. They can kill you. They can't touch him. But when he's gone, they get to be like, ha, ha, ha. And they get to come in and burn the Qur'an, destroy the Qur'an, corrupt it. Those people who are Christian who became Muslim now are not there to tell you that. They're gone. They're gone. They separate. Some horrible things happen. Now people separate. There's no brotherhood and sisterhood anymore. People are separate. It doesn't mean people weren't separate before, right? Every race is in their own continent anyway. I know. I mean, like the religion wasn't connecting them anymore, right? So those people like the Europeans and who were connected to the Arabs, right? The Asians overall, the Africans, through that updated religion of God from Prophet Muhammad, right? Coming down to fix the lies from Christianity prior to him. Okay. Now, they're basically not Muslims anymore. You get me? Those first ones are obviously being killed and stuff. Okay. And their children, you can easily teach them, just like all the orphans today all over the world, due to war, due to trafficking, due to all these horrible things. Right, due to immigration, illegal immigration. You see how kids are constantly being left behind like that. It's easy. So you can't ignore something happened to the Qur'an around the same time that Christians and Muslims were fighting. Because of the fact that exactly, why is it so similar? Like our prophet is gone and all of a sudden Christians are going after Muslims. That's not rational. Why do you care about these people? And why are they telling you some evil Muslims were attacking them first? That's it, everybody. That means that's around the time the Qur'an was destroyed and a fake one was made. See how logical it is? The fake one is saying, go kill non-Muslims. Okay, so probably it was, who knows, the Muslims who were trying to just kill bad people. I'm sorry, Christians. It's like, you see, it's happening the same time. That's your evidence. Anyways. That's your evidence that they're lying about the prophet when they act like he had all these wars and battles and all that stuff. Because there's no historical facts about that. But there seems to be some history about the crusades and similar ones prior to the crusades between people you would say are Muslim and people who you say are not Muslim. See, that's your evidence. All the battles about Prophet Muhammad within Arabia is fake. But the real stuff about Muslims fighting others is true. That's how you know it's real. But that Muslim was doing that because their book is corrupted. And the evil ones, not the good ones, are now saying, let's go finally do what we want. Right? We corrupted a book that would normally kill us. Let's go. But you see how rational it is. If this fake Muhammad existed that really just went to war with people, that fake Muhammad character then would have went to Europeans. He would have went to Christians to conquer you and take away Christianity from you. How come they always tell you he only conquered Arabs? That's not rational. What's the point of conquering your own ethnicity, and your own little groups among them of other ethnicities of Asia? No, it has to go to others. Technically, control is usually about other people, right, who are different. Because exactly you want to take what they have that's different than yours. So if this is an evil fake religion, then it should have gone and destroyed the religion you all keep saying as Christians is from God, Christianity. How come no one went to war with Christians, everyone? Exactly. They tell you Prophet Muhammad's time, nothing bad happened. Everything was good between Christians and Muslims and Arabs. Between Arabs and Europeans and others who are Christian like Africans. How come there's no problem? But only after a prophet is gone, you hear about evil Muslims invading and attacking the world, conquering people. And now people think they have to do something based on their, for exactly, religious obligation, which then were the crusades. Get it? And exactly, it could have been the other way around. It could have been Christians who were feeling threatened by the good Islam spreading,